Today, I'm going to talk about something that is absolutely crucial to our lives. Something we often take for granted until it starts slipping away. Our brain health.
Now, I know, this might not be the most exciting topic for some, but trust me, it's one of the most important conversations we need to have.
We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with information. We're busy, overwhelmed, stressed, and it's easy to let our health, especially our brain health, fall by the wayside.
But here's the thing, what we put in our bodies, what we drink, what we consume, plays a massive role in how our brains function, how we think, how we remember, and how we age.
And today, we're diving into something that could completely change the way you see the beverages you consume every day. I'm going to break down 7 drinks that are actually doing more harm to your brain than you might think. You might be surprised by some of these, but that's the reality we're dealing with.
From seemingly harmless drinks to some of your go-to favorites, these can all contribute to cognitive decline and even lead to serious conditions like dementia.
But don't worry, we won't leave you hanging. I'm also going to share some drinks that are actually good for your brain, that can help prevent that cognitive decline and keep you sharp for years to come.
So make sure you stay with me all the way to the end. First off, let's talk about alcohol.
I know, for a lot of us, a glass of wine after a long day or a couple of beers with friends is a way to unwind. But here's the deal. Alcohol is actually one of the worst offenders when it comes to brain health.
Long-term alcohol consumption has been linked to a condition called alcohol-related dementia,
which is basically the brain shrinking over time because of alcohol poisoning.
And not just any part of your brain, the areas responsible for memory,
decision-making, and motor control are the ones that suffer the most. I'm sure you've heard the term brain fog before, but this is more than just foggy thinking. Alcohol literally damages brain cells, making it harder for your brain to communicate properly.
And on top of that, it promotes inflammation and oxidative stress in the brain, which are both huge contributors to cognitive decline.
Over time, those little sips here and there can start to add up, and your brain pays the price.
And let's not forget the impact alcohol has on the rest of your body. Your liver, which is supposed to detoxify your body, gets overwhelmed when alcohol is constantly in the system.
This leads to liver disease, which then messes with your brain function even more.
And if your liver starts to fail, toxins start to build up. And guess where those toxins go? That's right, your brain.
So, the next time you think about having that second or third drink, just ask yourself, is it worth the potential damage to your brain? The truth is, even moderate drinking can increase the risk of cognitive decline. And if you're drinking regularly, it could be putting you on a path you don't want to go down.
Next up, let's talk about diet sodas. Now, I know, a lot of people grab a diet soda thinking, hey, no sugar, no problem, right? Wrong. What you're actually drinking is a cocktail of artificial sweeteners, like aspartame, which are far worse for your brain than you probably realize.
These artificial sweeteners don't just pass through your system without a trace. They affect your gut health, and as research has shown, your gut and your brain are in constant communication. So when those sweeteners mess with your gut bacteria, they're also messing with your brain function.
Now, aspartame, for example, breaks down into harmful chemicals like formaldehyde and methanol. These are neurotoxins. That means they're toxic to your brain cells. These chemicals can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in your brain over time. Think about that for a second. Something as simple as a diet soda could be harming your brain without you even realizing it. And it's not just aspartame.
Other sweeteners used in these drinks, like saccharin, can have similar effects. They mess with dopamine production in the brain, which can impair memory, mood, and even learning. And if you're someone who suffers from headaches or migraines, diet sodas could be the culprit. They've been linked to those exact issues. So, next time you reach for that kind of diet soda, ask yourself, is that really worth it?
You are not just cutting calories. You could be cutting into your brain health in ways you can't even see yet. Let's move on to something that a lot of people don't even think about. Processed fruit juices. You might be thinking, but it's fruit juice, it's healthy, right? Well, not exactly. Processed fruit juices are packed with added sugars and preservatives that can cause your blood sugar levels to spike, leading to insulin resistance. Over time, this insulin resistance can have a negative impact on your brain. Insulin is what helps your brain process glucose, the brain's primary energy source.
So when your brain becomes resistant to insulin, it becomes less efficient at using glucose, and that means less energy for the brain.
This, of course, leads to cognitive decline.
But that's not all. A lot of these juices are made with high fructose corn syrup, which is a huge red flag for your brain health.
High fructose corn syrup doesn't just overwhelm your liver, but it also contributes to fat accumulation in your brain.
That fat buildup has been linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. So even if you're thinking you're getting some healthy fruit into your diet, that processed fruit juice is actually doing more harm than good.
And it's not just about the sugar, it's about what that sugar is doing to your body and your brain over time. Now, let's talk about something else that's become increasingly popular. Energy drinks.
You see these everywhere at the gym, in convenience stores, and even in the hands of students trying to power through their all-nighters.
But energy drinks aren't the quick fix they appear to be.
Sure, they give you a boost of energy, but that boost comes at a cost.
Energy drinks are loaded with caffeine, which, when consumed in excess, can overstimulate the brain, causing anxiety, sleep disturbances, and long-term cognitive damage. You might feel more awake and alert in the short term, but your brain is paying for it in the long run.
And that's not the only issue with energy drinks. They also have massive amounts of sugar. I mean, really, a lot of sugar.
And while glucose is necessary for brain function, too much of it creates oxidative stress, which can damage your brain cells.
Some of these drinks even contain artificial additives and preservatives that are neurotoxic. They literally disrupt normal brain communication. So, if you're chucking energy drinks thinking they're helping you out, you might want to think twice about what they're doing to your brain.
But hey, if you think coffee is safe, think again at least when you're drinking it late at night. I know, coffee is a staple for many of us, but if you're drinking it late in the evening, you could be setting yourself up for some serious issues. The caffeine in coffee blocks adenosine, a neurotransmitter that makes you feel sleepy, and when you drink it late at night, it messes with your sleep cycle. And guess what?
Chronic sleep deprivation is directly linked to the buildup of amyloid plaques, which are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease.
But it's not just about sleep. Regularly drinking coffee late at night can also lead to increased anxiety and stress.
And let me tell you, that constant state of being on edge isn't doing your brain any favors. It's wearing you down, affecting your focus, your memory, and your mental clarity. So while you might be thinking that cup of coffee is helping you stay alert, it's actually making you more vulnerable to cognitive decline in the future.
Finally, let's talk about sports drinks.
These drinks are marketed as the healthy option for hydration, especially if you're working out or playing sports.
But the truth is, most sports drinks are loaded with sugar, artificial sweetness, preservatives, and food coloring. These ingredients can cause insulin resistance and inflammation, both of which are linked to cognitive decline. Plus, some sports drinks contain high fructose corn syrup, which, as we've already discussed, is terrible for your brain. And the artificial colorings?
They've been linked to neurodevelopmental issues, including reduced cognitive function. So, the next time you think about grabbing a sports drink, remember, just because it's marketed as healthy doesn't mean it's actually good for your brain.
Stick to water, or if you need a little more flavor, try infusing your water with fresh fruits or herbs. Now, here's the good news. There are drinks that can actually help protect your brain. These are the drinks we should be reaching for if we want to keep our mind sharp, boost our brain health, and fight off cognitive decline. First on the list is green tea.
This drink is packed with antioxidants and polyphenols that protect brain cells from damage. Green tea can reduce inflammation in the brain, improve memory, and slow cognitive decline.
Plus, it has a calming effect, which is great for mental health. Next up is golden milk, a drink made with turmeric and milk.
Turmeric contains curcumin, which is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. It can cross the blood-brain barrier and help reduce amyloid plaques, which are linked to Alzheimer's. So, sipping on a warm cup of golden milk might just be one of the best things you can do for your brain.
And don't forget about berry smoothies. Berries like blueberries and strawberries are loaded with antioxidants that protect your brain from oxidative stress and inflammation.
They improve memory and can even reduce the risk of age-related cognitive decline.
So if you're looking for a brain-boosting drink, a smoothie made with fresh berries should be at the top of your list.
So there you have it, folks.
The drinks that can do real damage to your brain, and the ones that can help protect and improve your cognitive function.
The choice is yours. It's time to make smarter decisions for your health. Not just your body, but your mind as well.
Don't wait until it's too late to take care of your brain. Start today.